man, Nickelodeon was like my favorite thing when I was younger. SpongeBob, the Rugrats, Fairly OddParents, Jimmy Neutron, My Life as a Teenage Robot, Danny Phantom! Everyone always had their preferred TV station. Some liked Disney Channel, others liked Cartoon Network, which was always a super close second for me. But no, deep down, I knew I was a Nickelodeon diehard. I had DVDs, toys, and of course, who could forget video games? Video games based on Nickelodeon properties were always such a blast for me, even the ones that weren't really that good, to be honest. I still found them to be super charming and so much fun. Taking control of these characters I watched on TV every day and exploring their world? What more could I ask for? But then comes along the Nicktoons plug-and-play TV game console. And now I suddenly hate SpongeBob! Okay, that's not true, I could never do that. But you'll quickly see why I came to this initial feeling, as we check out the Nicktoons plug-and-play console. The Nicktoons TV game, to be more specific, was released in 2004 by Jakks Pacific. Plug-and-play consoles were always kind of interesting at the very least. They were cheap little consoles with fun and unique designs that kids would guarantee love. You weren't just playing a Spider-Man game, you were playing with Spider-Man! Bad choice of words. The games themselves usually had a very simple retro style to them, mimicking something you can find on an NES or SNES. Again, they were all usually fine. The Nicktoons TV game has 5 different games on it. And yup, you guessed it, we're gonna check all of them out. First up is... You alright, Patrick? I could stop and call someone, it's no big deal. The Fairly OddParents Channel Chasers. Channel Chasers was an hour-long TV special in which Timmy, Cosmo, and Wanda would travel inside the TV and interact with random miscellaneous shows, a lot of which were parodies of real-life TV shows and movies, including the Rugrats, Blue's Clues, Ninja Turtles, all ending with an epic anime Dragon Ball parody. I loved this special so much! Trying to catch all of the references and seeing how exactly they would parody them always brought a smile to my face. This also opens up the door to so many fun possibilities with video games. So, what do we get here? PacMan. Literally PacMan. You take control of Timmy Turner and need to walk around this map collecting stars and other random items, all while avoiding, you know that. Well-known Fairly OddParents character, that! The game is really uninteresting. You know how I said the game is just Pac-Man? Well, it's actually worse. Timmy moves so slowly, and the map is really small compared to Pac-Man. There are a few different power-ups to mix up the gameplay every now and then. Apart from that, though, it's just collect the stars and jump into the TV. There are only 3 different backgrounds you'll see. This garden, a haunted house, and the Flintstones living room. It gets old pretty quickly. However, there is one redeeming quality. During the loading screens, it'll tell you what fictional TV shows are coming up next, including Snooper Dog and the Clue Crew.
Yeah, they giving it up. Low life, yo life, boy, we...
Nice. Up next is SpongeBob SquarePants Delivery Service. Okay, so what we have here is SpongeBob delivering Krabby Patties to the denizens of Bikini Bottom on his unicycle, all while avoiding jellyfish. Okay, it's kind of like a side-scrolling shooter where you need to hit everyone. Again, super basic. The soundtrack, however, reeks of Russian Genesis bootleg music. And keep in mind, it's trying to play the SpongeBob theme. I guess it's not terrible. Come to think of it, you better learn to love it because it's the only song in the game. You will be hearing that 10-second loop for 20 plus minutes if you're crazy enough to play this all the way through. I will admit though, it is nice traveling to well-known SpongeBob locations like downtown Bikini Bottom, Goo Lagoon. Well, that's it really, but it's still nice. Again, just like the last game, it's simple, fun, and harmless. Alrighty, here's Rocket Power Downhill Skateboarding. Rocket Power, what a weird choice. Rocket Power was one of those cartoons that, you know, sucked. It was all about extreme sports, broski. Skating, surfing. If you ain't doing that, then you're obviously a square. I give you permission to punch me next time you see me. Anyway, you start off the game by choosing your favorite Rocket Power kid. That's like asking me to choose my favorite deadly disease. What we have here is a downhill skating game. You go through slaloms, collect balloons and the rocket power logo, go up a ramp and catch some sick air. It's pretty good. For a game on my Windows 95 PC, what's all this? This is just ski-free! Yeah, I played the heck out of this game on my old PC. Skiing down this mountain trying not to die from hitting trees or getting eaten alive by the snow monster? Yeah, an unnecessarily creepy feature. Yeti for Smash. Oh yeah, back to Rocket Power. This game is just that one, but with no abominable snowman. So it's actually worse than that game that came out 11 years before it. Now I'm just being salty because I don't like the show. The game is fine, alright? At first I was dumbfounded why they chose Rocket Power to be one of the shows to represent Nickelodeon in the year 2004. Why not Rugrats or Cat Dog or heck, even Danny Phantom, the show that just debuted this year? But then I remember that Rocket Power is the easiest show to make a game for, considering the entire cartoon is just about random sports. This game could have been anything really. Hockey, surfing, it doesn't matter. So, just like every other game so far, Rocket Power Downhill Skateboarding is fine. Almost finished. Here's Jimmy Neutron, A Beautiful Mine. This game is based off that one episode where Jimmy and the gang go into literal space to mine for asterubies. At first, they all get along, celebrating in their newfound riches. But then greed slowly overtakes them as they begin to lose trust in one another and are willing to kill each other to make sure no one touches their precious treasures. That is until aliens come by and threaten their lives, in which they must put their differences aside and even sacrifice their riches for their own survival. All of which could have been avoided if greed hadn't overtaken them. Also, Carl makes burritos.
Ow! Carl! Why you putting this burrito?
And that was the episode. Why did I give a recap of it? I don't know. Probably because I don't have much to say about the game itself. It's just another basic beefed up Atari game. Climb these ladders, collect treasures, and avoid the enemies. It's like that burger game. Burger time. This one has the least variety of the four we've looked at so far. At least in the other games, we get a change of scenery in the background. Here though, it's just space, and they sometimes change the color of the platforms. Overall, I'd say, think. Brain blast! It's okay. And finally, we've reached the final game, SpongeBob's Cash Dash. Yeah, 2 SpongeBob games. I find that kind of weird considering Nickelodeon at this point was a haven of awesome cartoons. But at the same time, SpongeBob's popularity was at an all-time high, so I get why they did it. So in this game, we, Oh, I see now. This is dumb! So what we actually have here is Mario Party, but only the board section. So, no minigames. You're on this map with Squidward and Patrick, who are your opponents, and you need to walk around and find treasure. However, simply walking around would be too easy. So instead, you need to roll this dice and then you move that specific number of spaces. It's dumb. It's completely luck-based. Now, in something like Mario Party, that's fine because the board game section is only half the experience. But in this game, it's all you're doing. Even Squidward looks like he doesn't want to be here. This is the first game on this plug-and-play console that just sucks. There's no way a kid would play this for more than 15 seconds before realizing how boring it is. But at least the other games were fun. Despite essentially being beefed up Atari games, they still felt like video games, and not Chinese checkers. And that was the Nicktoons TV game. Again, nothing mind-blowing, especially with there being actual Nickelodeon games that are genuinely fun and entertaining, but a nice little trinket to have regardless. Which one looked the most interesting to you? I have a ton of these cheap plug-and-play consoles, so let me know if you'd like to see more videos on them. And, since I'm already asking you a million questions, what was your favorite Nickelodeon show? Let me know all of this in the comments below. See you later!